Trail running is crazy. For some reason, you get really excited when it's just a hot summer's day to get out and run, but yet again, under the same breath, when it's a storm outside, all you want to do is go and feel extreme running up on the mountains.
The Trail Series has been growing since it started out in 2008. We started with 252 runners at the first Trail Series, and nowadays we get about 1,000 runners per race. So it's really great to see such an increase. We have our Trail Series favourites who come back year after year, and we also see a massive influx of newbies who want to try out trail for the first time and just really get involved and then keen to come back for the next series.
To take part in the Spur Trail Series, you just need a pair of running shoes and good vibe to come and run. On an early Sunday morning, you've got the guys braving the cold to just come out and enjoy the trails. For me personally, as a trail runner, I love to be out there, out in nature and staying fit and just going out for a run, but then at the same time, just the extreme side of trail running, running through technical single track and flying up and down the mountain. It's just so much fun, and to be able to see other people enjoy that at a Trail Series event, coming over that finish line with just that stoke face, is just something that makes me really happy. The Spur Trail Series is a nationwide event. Currently we are set in 4 different provinces. So we've got the Cape Summer and the Cape Winter Trail Series, we've got the Gauteng Summer and Gauteng Winter Trail Series, and then we also have the Spur PE and the Spur KZN Trail Series races. The Trail Series started back in 2008. Wildrunner launched its first Trail Series in the Cape, and there was just this need for a short course trail running event, and it just really took off from there.
I think it's a great series, that's why we've entered it again. The last one was our first one, and we've re-entered because we enjoy it.
Really awesome. Great trails, loads of fun, great scenery, great to be outdoors.
I do it all the time, every year, winter and summer, something I enjoy.
The Spur Trail Series is a set of 4 races. You need to do 3 out of 4 races to get a medal, and that's 3 long courses or 3 short courses. The Spur Trail Series also includes an XL race to the Cape Series, the KZN Series and the Gauteng Series, and that stands alone and separate from the rest of the series, and you get a medal for doing the XL race.
There's a bunch of benefits in having a series instead of just a standalone race. You get to log your performance, you get to see how you've improved from the beginning to the end of the series, and what's also really great with how the whole point system works, we count only your 3 best races out of the 4, which means if you came out and you did have a bad run, you can come back next weekend and try and improve on that one, get a better run out there.
The fact that it is a series and it's a number of races you've got to run over, all different terrain. I mean, last week's one was hectically difficult. Apparently this week's one is not so difficult. So it's just the variety. That's what's great about it.
The Spur Trail Series consists of 2 parts, the Championship and the Challenge. A Championship race is the longer sections, and those are all sort of 10 to 15 k's in length. Then if you'd like to do the Challenge races, those are the shorter routes, generally about 5 to 8 k's, a little bit easier, not quite so technical, and then those form a series of themselves. The Challenge routes includes the kids races, so Pee-wees, Mini-me's and Junior categories are all valid for the Challenge races. If you're doing the Spur Trail Series and you manage to run 4 out of 4 races, we pick your best 3 points from across the races. So if you came 3rd, 2nd and 4th, we'll take 3rd, 3rd and 2nd towards your final point score, and that's how we work out who wins the series. It's based on your number of points and then based on your time from those races.
The bulk of the Gauteng Winter Trail Series takes place in the Wildrunner area. There's a lot of great bushveld out there, a lot of massive farms. Not so much the mountains that you find in the Cape, but there are some tough hills out there.
Most of our races are out towards the cradle of humankind, so you're running in absolutely stunning areas with just this supreme sense of you're out in the wild.
I love the views, I love seeing what Johannesburg, the cradle has to offer, and just being part of nature.
Great day out. Where else do you get this amount of trail sort of just to yourself? You know, half an hour out of town. It's brilliant.
Busora is your first race of the series. They run a luxury tented camp facility. Wildrunner's MD Owen Middleton stumbled upon this venue a few years back and knew instantly that's where you wanted to have one of the Trail Series races. It's just a really open land. You just get that awesome bushveld experience that you would expect out in the high veld. Busora is just one of those really fun courses. There's a lot of single track out in offer. We've got a 6.7 kilometre short course and a 12.2 kilometre long course.
I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for the course. As the guy said, it's 80 meters of climbing, so that's going to be a bit tough. It's a lot more flat when you run the school cross country, but with Trail Series there's more uphills and downhills. That's what I like a lot.
About a kilometre into the long course, they set off into this really fun single track right along the river. They make their way down into a little valley and then they've got a solid climb out. By no means an easy course. The short course also, they eventually both join up where they have this really fun magical forest single track that you just wind through. It spits you out in the end and then you just make your way back to the finish line. Henops is the second race of the Gauteng Winter Trail Series. It is a 6.8 kilometre short course and a 12 kilometre long course. We also have the additional XL course at this race, which is a 18.7 kilometre course. So every course has a couple of standout features, and one of the main standout features of Henops is the bridge crossing. A lot of runners look forward to it. Henops is probably the closest to your Cape sort of mountain type running. What drew us to Henops was the hiking trails. It's a very technical, tough course, infamously known as the Henops Beast. All three courses get an experience of the tough climbing out there. There's a lot of single track also on offer here, and then there's just a lot of amazing views out here. You're running alongside a river, next thing you're crossing a bridge, and then before you know it, you're climbing a mountain. After you've wound your way through the mountains of Henops and all the bushveld single track, you make your way back through the trees, you get to cool down a little bit, wind your way through the forest and make your way across the finish line.
The Henops was the toughest one. I suppose the toughest ones are the best, at the end of the day.
The more technical, the better. I love it. Give us the rocks and the rivers, that's what we want.
Henops is definitely, especially for a lot of people in Gauteng who are spending their time in the city, living the city life, you're really getting that outdoor mountain experience. So it's just a great weekend out for runners to get some mountain running in.
I love the climbing and the descending. You really have to keep focused at all times.
Thanks to the sponsors, thanks to everybody, and well done to you guys for a good organised event.
Our third race takes place at Sagwati. It's a private game reserve, and so there's a lot of wildlife out on offer for the guys to see. If you keep your eyes peeled, you'll spot some giraffes. Sometimes you see the wildebeest all herding together. It's just great being able to share the trails with the wildlife. It's really fun. Sagwati boasts the lowest profile, but still a lot of climbing. It's got a 12 kilometre long course and a 7.6 kilometre short course. Sagwati is based mostly on jeep track. There is a little bit of single track on course, but the main appeal of this course is just the view that you get out there. The long and short course head off together for the first 5 kilometres of the race. You start off on the jeep track, make your way past the dam, head around the koppie where you get onto some technical single track. It's not very windy, it's more undulating. And then from there they just run through the high veld all the way back. You've just got bushveld grass on either side of you.
It's a good morning so far, waiting for the start, and it's a bit freezing, but yeah, excited to run. Let's have fun on this series.
I don't enjoy the first 4 kilometers because then I taste blood and I want to turn around and I want to die, and then it becomes lekker. And then it's the people, the scenery, being out here, fresh air, running with friends, meeting new people, it's great.
Trail series is the best place to start your trail running career. If you've tried out road, or maybe you can run 10Ks but you're nervous to try the trails because it seems so technical, then trail series is a great place to start. There's something for everyone. They aren't massively technical. It's not like you're running a mountain. You literally are just doing sort of 5 to 8Ks, a little bit of jeep track, some single track, beautiful views, and just a perfect place to start.
Leeuwenkloof is the 4th race of the series. It's also the final. It is a 8.7 kilometer short course and a 13.8K long course. This is by far my personal favorite of all the courses out in Gauteng. There's so much variety on offer here at Leeuwenkloof. You almost immediately start out with the climb just to get those legs warmed up straight away. Then you get into bushveld single track, and then a little while later you move into forestry single track where you're winding through the forests again. One of the main features of Leeuwenkloof is this old mine shaft where runners enter into the tunnel that was dug out by the miners back in the day. You enter into this tunnel that's been lit up nicely by the team, and it spits you out at the top, almost like a cave-like exit.
This is my favorite route out of all. Going through that cave thing is just something else that keeps me coming back here. You guys always got good routes.
Leeuwenkloof has a really awesome start-finish venue. We had the final prize giving for the series at this awesome laughter, and it's just really fun. Every year, the kids from Westlake Boys High out in New Zealand make their way to South Africa on a cross-country tour where their coach just likes to introduce them to the sport of trail running. This year we managed to get them to treat us to the traditional New Zealand haka before the race started.
The boys will spend 2 weeks in South Africa doing sightseeing and racing, different races, and then on the 10th of July we fly out to Kenya, Iten, where the boys will spend time with the top Kenyan runners. They will stay in a high altitude training camp over there. 3 weeks ago at the New Zealand Cross Country Champs, the boys totally cleaned up. We won juniors, intermediate and seniors. Looking forward to the race today. An amazing opportunity for the boys to head out there and experience South African extra running.
A typical trail series setup starts the day before the race. 2 people will go out to mark the route. That's all the trail series markers that you'll see out on the course. And then there's another team that will set up at the race village. That includes a team from Spur who will do all the branding setup, the coffee and the food truck, the medics, the toilets, all of that sort of thing is set up the day before.
We open registration at 6 o'clock, so you get some of the early birds who like to arrive early and have everything sorted and get their stretching done. You can arrive from 6 o'clock, get your race number, go stand in line, get yourself a warm cup of coffee while you wait for the race to start.
So I've done a few 10K road races, and then I'm just looking for something more challenging. So this could be the start of something new, so I'm really excited.
10 minutes before race start, there's a briefing with the race director, and then the NC will set you off, and then you're out on course. And as you come over the finish line, we'll record your time with your race number. You'll get a finisher drink, stick around for prize giving, and a nice juicy Spur burger.
If you didn't make your way onto the podium, there's still a lot on offer with spot prizes and awesome lucky draw prizes, so guys generally stick around for that. We keep the race village as is from beginning until the last runner crosses the finish line. We want everyone to have that trail series experience get the vibey music, the MC welcoming them over the finish line.
I really love the Spur races. It's really challenging, the vibe is good, it's really a good exercise and a base training for other events that we do.
It was amazing, it was really, really cool. Well organised, it's just incredible.
There's a prize giving after every single race where we'll award the challenge and championship over the line winners, as well as in the short course challenge your peewees, minis and junior runners will also be awarded prizes. We do acknowledge your masters, open and veterans. In essence, the Trail Series is a series of races, it's not just one single race, and so those guys get awarded at the end of the series.
We first do the challenge and then the championship, as that's the sort of build-up to the biggest race. The challenge prize giving consists of a number of categories, including the juniors, the peewees and the mini-me's. The peewee category is for kids under 10 years, the mini-me category is for 11 to 14, junior is 15 to 17, and then open and up. In the Spur Gauteng Winter Trail Series challenge courses, junior male category, first place Keegan Daly. In the mini-me category, Greg Fuller. In the peewee category, first place Ben Hockley. Open ladies, Micheline Carl. In the veteran ladies category, Michelle Mayer. Master ladies category, Linda van der Grijp. In the open men's category, Rona van Vollenhoven. Veteran men, Andrew van Sale. In the master men's category, first place Gert Stein. In the championship courses, open ladies category, first place Margrethe Wang. Veteran ladies category, Ronald van Graan. In the master ladies category, first place Rita Gieber. In the championship courses, open men's, first place Tranquil Gumbo. In the master men's category, Herman Mulder. For all the prize givings, Raidlight are our sponsor for gear, and they do a big prize for the end of every prize giving. It's also sponsored by Spur, they hand out vouchers, and then Wildrunner contributes as well in forms of Trail Series product.
The Trail Series is really unique to the trail running racing scene, as it's just a way more accessible, family friendly, it's just open to everyone. A lot of the bigger runs are a bit more daunting, but whereas the Trail Series you have that option of taking on the short course if you've never done a trail run before, or if you do enjoy a bit of trail running and you want to challenge yourself a bit more, you can come out and try out the long course without having to head too far into the mountains. What's really great about it is you've got your newbies, your first-time runners, but it's also very competitive. We've got some of your top elite athletes coming to take on the long course championship, and especially in the short course, the cross-country runners and the younger school kids, and that really go out hard on these courses. So you've got your elite runners really upping the game and challenging those course records at every race. But then at the same time, you have your families having a lot of fun out on course as well.
The Spur Trail Series really is a family run. We cater for anyone from as young as 6 years old all the way up to 75, and it's really just great to see families coming to do the races. There's a promotion that kids under 10 run for free, as this is our 10th year anniversary, which is wonderful. We did see a massive growth in children running, and the whole family can come along. Parents can run with the kids, which is just very special to see.
At Gauteng, you see a lot of parents heading out there to run the races with their kids. Especially on Father's Day, you saw a lot of dads just crossing the finish line with their little ones and all just hanging around, having a really great time together afterwards. The Spur Trail Series is a great introduction for guys into trail running, and you find a lot of the guys doing the long course race will often end up doing 3 other long course races and then challenge themselves to do the XR as their 4th race, so they can start stepping it up. And a lot of guys who will then start noticing the appeal to the longer distance running will end up taking on some other events like the Mountain Challenge Series, where they can just get out there and take on bigger mountains, bigger climbs. A lot of the big names in trail running in South Africa have found their starting point in the trail series. We've seen a lot of the big names come and do the trail series races, from the likes of Bernard Rukatsa, Nicholas Rupanga, Ryan Sands. If you look back in the history of Spur Trail Series, you'll see those guys having been on the start line at one of those races. So it's a really good starting point for young trail runners who are interested in the trail running scene to just see what this whole trail running thing is all about and just really what it takes to be a trail runner.
It was challenging, but I think ultimately at the end it was really nice.
The sponsors just really play such a great role in making this event that much more appealing to the runners. With Spur coming on board as title sponsor, it really helps with the resources that they bring to the event with the brand activation and marketing.
We are a family brand and we basically want our customers to live a healthy, active lifestyle, which is why we are involved in these initiatives such as the trail series, the mountain biking, the rugby, the soccer and the cricket.
And then we have guys like Raid Light South Africa who've come on board as product sponsor for Wildrunner events. So they just add a lot of value to podium and spot prizes and having their merchandise in the store.
The beauty with the trail series is that it basically caters for everybody. Those that are entry level, those that just want to get fit, those that are elite. Runners can basically test their own limits and can basically do it in a fun and safe environment as well.
The other great thing about Trail Series is that you're running with a large group of people and you've got a very solid team backing you who are making sure that you're safe while on course. So if you haven't been on the trails before, you're worried about getting injured or something like that, you can try the Trail Series because you know that there's a team behind you so that you can just go out and enjoy it and have fun.
We also really try to respect our trails and just this awesome natural environment that we get to enjoy. So we've partnered with the likes of WWF, Run for Nature, just to speak into that really eco-friendly, respect nature, keep it clean. We've also seen this year Wildrunner's gone cupless at all the events. So although we don't do water tables at our events except for the longer courses, at the longer courses we encourage runners to run with a reusable eco cup so that we don't have to put plastic out on course that just gets thrown away and messes with the environment. Instead, get your reusable cup and you can use it event after event. It's really cool to see how much Trail Series has grown, having started just in the Cape, now being in 4 provinces, having a summer and winter series in some of those, and with most of those events getting up to 1,000 runners. To be at that mark now is really big. We're always trying to keep it fresh, keep it interesting, so although we want to keep the really fun routes, it's nice to change those up every now and then, so we're constantly scouting out if there's a new addition that we can add to one of the series or change things up a little bit. We launched the Steenberg camera trap at the Cape Summer Trail Series and we brought that along into the Gauteng Winter Trail Series as well. It's just such a hit with the runners. We set up a camera trap out on the course. We find a good spot that both the long and the short course runners run through. And if the runners do something silly, something funny, something crazy, something new for the camera, it makes its way onto a Facebook album. And it's just a really great platform for guys just to interact. They can tag themselves, look for themselves after the race. Our 3 favorite photos after each race will get a prize from Steenberg, and then at the end we put it down to a vote for the 12 finalists who've made it throughout the series, and then the one with the most likes and shares will get an awesome gift bag sent to them from the Steenberg team.
We are very active on social media. There's the Trail Series Facebook page and that's where all the latest updates will be. If you want to enter on the day or want to find out about when pre-registration opens, that's all on our Facebook page. Our website is where you'll find all the really important information. Otherwise you can sign up for our weekly newsletter, which is the Wildrunner Weekly, or get onto the Wildrunner Master database and then you'll find out about all the races as they open, as to make sure that you don't miss out on getting an entry.
A colleague of my wife's, she does some trail running and We inquired from her and then went onto the website and saw it from there. Just got excited about it.
It was really awesome, so definitely going to be registering in the future.
I really just enjoy being out on the trails. Pounding pavement gets quite boring, and so to be out in nature, to hear the sounds, to hear the birds, to play on the trails really is just a lot of fun. I'd recommend trail running to anyone who's really interested in being outdoors and just has a love for nature and for playing and for being gentle in heart.